Hey, Dustin, right in front of you here, man. Obviously disappointing with the outcome tonight, but now that you've had a little time to reflect on what happened in there, can you just give us, some more thoughts aside from what you said in the cage?
The guy's good, man. He's a world champ. Maybe I could have done more. Hindsight's 2020. I was very prepared for this fight, to fight 25 minutes. He did exactly what I thought he was going to do. Maybe, of course I'm going to beat myself up, and I'm the only one who has to deal with this, me and my family. But I'm just wondering if maybe against the fence, when I got underhooks, if I could have tried a little bit harder to get off the fence, maybe. But that's just questions that I'm going to have to live with for the rest of my life. I thought for sure he was winning the rounds, obviously, taking me down and dominating, but I felt like he was squeezing hard. We were getting slicker. I felt like he was getting a little weaker. I coming into this fight, I thought later in the third, fourth, and fifth were going to be my rounds. Not that I was planning on giving up the first two, but I knew they were going to be tough. So coming back to the stool after each of those rounds, in the beginning, I wasn't getting damaged a whole lot with shots that were hurting. He cut me, but I thought the deeper we got into the fight, the more slick I was going to be able to be. But that's fighting, man. Stuff is tough.
Yeah, and it seems like you got him with a couple good shots in the second round, and then that guillotine seemed pretty deep. How close did you feel you were in those two moments?
The guillotine was really deep. But for the rest of my life, I'm going to look back and wonder why I didn't jump full guard with it. I just threw one leg over so he couldn't pass to take the choke off. I should have jumped full guard. I don't know why I went shin across the stomach with the right leg or whatever I had, a butterfly with it. I should have went full guard so he couldn't roll out and relieve the pressure. When I heard him, maybe in the back of my head, the takedown was, I felt like I couldn't get anything going with my stand-up. He's very awkward. He dips his head and throws uppercuts. We never got into an orthodox kickboxing or boxing exchange on the feet. It was all one punch at a time, or him dipping and throwing a knee, or him dipping and throwing an uppercut. I didn't get a rhythm. I felt like the way he was pulling back, it was hard for me to set up my combinations and get into a rhythm. I know I sound like I have a lot of excuses, but I was just so prepared, for tonight. This one really hurts.
And I know it's probably not what's on the top of your mind right now, but Khabib did say after the fight he was going to donate to your charity. And then I don't know if you heard Dana when you're in the back there, he said he's going to match whatever Khabib contributes. What does that mean to you?
It's great, because it's going to help a lot of people. We're building a water well in Uganda, so that I'm sure with the memorabilia sold, we're going to reach the goal and build a solar power water well with a tower for the pygmy people in orphanage and school in Uganda. So I'm proud of that, But I wanted to leave tonight the world champ and just let myself down, man. But I appreciate them, helping out the charity. It's been growing, and I'm very grateful for that.
Dustin, over here. I was wondering if the heat affected your cardio at all. Did you feel it in the arena? A lot of fighters were complaining about how hot it was.
No, it didn't. I felt good.
You seemed to wobble Khabib in the second round. Did you think you could potentially finish him at that point in the second round?
Yeah, I knew I had him hurt. He does a really good job of keeping a good poker face and not acting like he's hurt, but I saw his legs go. I had trouble landing my shots. I was worried about his takedown. I started throwing a lot of looping shots, not being slick and setting up combinations. And the shot that I hurt him with, I believe I threw a jab cross and switch stance. That way I can still be in range with power shots when he pulled back. And I threw a right straight from an orthodox stance that clipped him and hurt him. He circled well, had a good poker face. I didn't go crazy like I usually do. I kind of pulled back after I threw a couple looping shots that missed. I think I threw a knee right after that clipped him a little bit too. I think I hurt him with that as well. I just didn't do enough, and I have to live with it for the rest of my life.
Just going back on the charity work, Dana White actually just said that he would match what Khabib gets for the fight gear that he was wearing tonight. Does that, what's your take on that?
Like I said, I'm very appreciative of that. I'm trying to get this thing as big as I can. I just partnered up with Everlast. We're launching a campaign together with the Good Fight Foundation and Everlast. We're going to be the official charity of Everlast, and that's worldwide. So I think we're going to do some great things with that. I have a lot of good things going. I'm just trying to do as much as I can and help as many people as I can. With these fights, I built a pretty good life for me and my family through this, and I'm just trying to do as much as I can with it.
Dustin Poirier, this is Shadi Unleashed, Alan TV. You finished Justin Gaethje, you finished Anthony Pettis, Eddie Alvarez. I'll tell you a bad motherfucker. Do you think you'd be interested in fighting next, Masvidal versus Nate Diaz?
If I'd be what?
Would you be interested in fighting next, Masvidal and Nate Diaz? It's the BMF belt, so you're at BMF, so.
George is a buddy of mine. I don't sell out like fucking Kobe Covington and talk bad about people who I roll with. No, George is a buddy of mine. I won't fight him. He's a training partner. He's a good guy. If anything, I'll go out to Florida and help him for that fight.
Hi, to your left, Alex Cornwall from Reuters. Once you, I guess, take some time off down the road, what happens next in your career?
Man, it's tough to say right now. This was my 41st fight tonight. I'm only 30 years old. I've just been through so much in my fighting career. It's like, I don't know what's next, I thought, honestly, the last 10 weeks of training camp and preparing for this fight, I thought the stars were aligning and I thought this was my night, I thought this was like destiny, but I don't want to just keep crying up here in front of you guys, man, but this just means a lot to me. And, to have a performance like that, and in the moment I was just waiting for each round. I thought I was gonna start pulling away and start outpacing him later on in the fight, but he's just his balance and his weight distribution against the fence, and then when he's on top, it's so strong. Physically, he didn't feel overwhelming. I've fought guys that are stronger than him, but skill-wise and balance-wise, he felt really good. I just really thought tonight I was gonna fly back home to the United States, undisputed world champ. So this really hurts, but I'm gonna go back home and talk to my wife. Like I said, I have a lot of tread left on the tires. I felt good out there tonight. I felt good this whole training camp. I'm not fighting just to fight. I've been fighting to be the world champ, so these opportunities don't come that often. I just need to go back home and then think about what could be next for me.
Dustin is all about MMA from Brazil. I just want to say you're a very young guy. You have a long career in the future. I just want to say you fight very well tonight. It was unbelievable to see how you fight, so keep your head and go ahead. You are a very good fighter. You are a very good fighter. Just go home, rest a little bit. God have a good future for you in the UFC. Don't worry.
Thank you, man. I'm familiar with adversity. It's just I have to live the rest of my life asking myself if I could have done more, if I could have maybe escaped some of those takedowns, if I could have pushed harder when I had my underhooks against the fence. Those are the questions that'll haunt me. I've lost before.
Hello, Dustin. At press conference in London before this fight, Habib, he actually praised you as a fighter. He said a lot of good things about you. But he also said that you had never felt a pressure, like the pressure he was going to put on you, that you had never felt anything like that before. Can you say something about it? What is that like, Habib's pressure?
It's tough, like I said, he didn't feel overwhelmingly strong, but he felt very intelligent with his balance, with his decisions. When he would regrip or trip me along the fence, he's just very skilled grappler with good hips. His pressure felt high level.
Dustin, just reflect on this week. Coming in, it was dubbed as enemy territory, but in the cage right after the fight, the crowd, the way they cheered you. Just tell me, I know it's not what you probably think about now, but when you reflect back, I'm sure you'll appreciate kind of the crowd and how they received you and the respect they've shown you.
Yeah, I want to apologize to anybody who I offended by saying I was coming into enemy territory. It was the complete opposite. This is the smoothest, most welcoming fight week I've ever had in my career. And I fought cities all over, different countries. And Abu Dhabi was amazing. The people were great. Everywhere I went, the service was great. It was one of the best, which added to me thinking that it was all coming together tonight. It was the best week I've had in preparing for a fight, the best weight cut, I have no excuses. Khabib is a world champ. Thank you, guys.